Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Not Your Average Joel. So, we are actually on episode 40 today. We are on the big 40, and I'm so happy that I've made it this far. I've met so many amazing people. I've gotten to reconnect with amazing people as well. And I've had new guests, I've had past guests on here. And speaking of past guests, I actually have two past guests that are very loyal to this channel, and I definitely appreciate both of their support. This is both Alex and Caitlyn. This is both of their sixth time on here, so they definitely have been on here a good bit. They're almost basically might as well be like a co-host at this point because both of them have been on here so much, and I appreciate their support. And I appreciate them always being willing to be open and talking about all of these different topics and conversations. So I am definitely glad that they are both here, and we have yet another topic to talk about. So welcome both of y'all. Thank y'all for being here.
Thanks
Yeah,
for letting us be here.
yes.
Yes, absolutely. So before I tell everybody what this topic is about, recently Caitlin has had an amazing she like shared some amazing news out on her social media about an opportunity that she has going on next summer. So I'm actually going to have her tell everybody a little bit about that and ways to help her on her new journey that she's going to be going on next summer. So I'm going to have her explain all of that right now.
Well, I get the opportunity to study abroad in Spain, which is really cool. I'm going to school at the University of Montevallo here in Alabama, and I'm majoring in English, minoring in Spanish. And one of the things that has really been an issue for me has been fluency. And so when this trip came up, I was so excited because I was, oh, it'll help me with my fluency. It'll help me be able to hear it once you're immersed in the culture. So I'm super excited about it. My biggest thing though is definitely going to be having to raise the money for it. It's not a cheap trip, but it is cheaper than if I try to do it by myself. But I'm doing fundraisers. If you're here in Alabama and Central Alabama, I'm going to be selling Robertson's Boston butts. If you would like those, you can let me know. The money for those is due January the 12th. But you can just send me a personal message. I'm sure that Joel is going to tag me in this, and you can just click on my name and send me a personal message. I'm going to be selling T-shirts here soon, and they're going to be dedicated to the trip. They'll probably be the Boston butts. I'm sorry, I should have said that Boston butts are $38 a piece. The shirts will be around $20 a piece. We haven't quite got that ironed out yet. But and then making ornaments. I like to paint and stuff, and so I'm making handmade ornaments. You can follow the ornament situation on my art page, you could call it. It's Kate's CAITS underscore doodles on Facebook and on Instagram. Um, and then you can also follow the trip and follow any information, any more fundraising ideas, anything like that. You can go to hashtag Kate, CAIT, Kate goes to Spain. And if you would like to donate money for it, I have a Venmo account that is for my art stuff, and it's at Kate's CAITS Doodles on Venmo. So if you just want to donate money, if you don't want to buy anything necessarily, or if you don't want a Boston butt or anything, you can just donate money through Venmo. Um, Anything would be appreciated. Like I said, I have a lot that I have to raise, but I'm super excited about it because it's going to help prepare me better for my future and where God's calling me in my life later on. So I'm super pumped about the trip.
Yes, absolutely. I'm excited for you because, like you said, you get to immerse yourself into the culture and learn a lot more about where your calling is, and just
Yeah.
getting to be involved in Spain. Like, so that's just an amazing country. Never
Mhm.
been, but I've always wanted to go. So
I'll be there
definitely.
for a whole month, and I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh, lucky you. I would love to go to Spain. So definitely check all of that out. If you want to buy something or if not, you are definitely welcome to donate for sure. So I definitely encourage everybody to help I was supposed to help your girl. I'm not a girl. Help her
Help
out.
your girl out.
Yeah, it's help her out because we definitely want to see her be able to go, to Spain with no like financial worries or nothing like that. So definitely help
And if
her out.
one thing I should have said, if anybody has any questions or if they have any, anything that they need to ask me, about it, they can message me on the Kate Soodle page on Facebook or Instagram, or they can click on my name and send me a personal message on my Facebook account, um, on my personal page. So just yeah, just holler at me. I'm totally open.
Yeah, so there you go, everybody. Be sure to check all of that out. So, now moving on into our topic of today. This is going to be a topic that I'm sure many people can relate to. Maybe it's not a personal thing. Maybe it's a loved one has gone through something like this. The topic of today is actually going to be on drugs. So, drugs is definitely up and running. It's big. A lot of things going on with that. A lot of craziness with drugs and a big money making business out of that. So I thought today would be a good like conversation to talk about drugs and being able to get both Alex and Caitlyn's input on it. So I am going to go ahead and get into our first question regarding this. So my first question is what are some bad side effects when it comes to taking drugs? And I think Caitlin is frozen. So I am actually going to go ahead and have Alex answer first while she's coming back.
Oh, bad side
But
effects.
there you are.
Yeah, here we are. Yeah, yeah. Bad side effects. I guess it kind of depends on what drug you take. If it's like crack cocaine, is it pills? Um, so the bad side effects would just be whatever the side effects would be. The addiction of it, for sure, is probably the worst side effect. Because I guess they're all made to be addictive, just to create more. So the side effects. The Sorry, I'm so tired.
You're good.
Oh my gosh. So the addictiveness of them. I'm so sorry, guys. Would be the worst side effect of it for sure. And then just like what it comes of it, if it's like because crack cocaine, you also get like your teeth can rot. There's a story from Stevie Nicks, who was in Fleetwood Mac. She did cocaine and she was snort. She almost lost her nose. They had to like, she almost lost her nose because of all the coke she did through her nose. Because they're like, it's powder going straight to your nose into your like nostrils and your like mucus and like all the nasal passages. So she almost lost her nose from all the snorting. So don't snort according to according to Steven X. Don't do that. Um, so yeah, just all the side effects are just like the bad. Sorry, I'm so tired. I have to apologize about this whole podcast. Um, yeah, that's all the bad side effects for me. It would just be like the deadness, the loss of nose, well, loss of whatever, losing your teeth, the loss of friends and family because sometimes you're so into drugs that you just like completely blow people off just so you can do your drug habit or lose your job because you're just spending money on drugs so you have no home. So yeah, there's just a lot of bad side effects when it comes to doing drugs, especially like illegal drugs. And then when it comes to like prescription drugs, if you're abusing them, you're basically abusing the. Why do you think there's a lot of side effects when you watch like a prescription drug commercial? They have like all the side effects, which is like a 2 minute. um,
Yeah.
um, and so obviously, if you abuse it, that happens too. Because I know I used to abuse Tylenol and like Advil and all those, and every single bottle says liver damage if taken too much. So a lot of health issues.
Most definitely.
And that's the biggest thing I think is the way it impacts your body. Working in a pharmacy and you see that like we had a patient one time that was taking 800 milligrams of ibuprofen, was taking like 2 and 3 tablets at a time. And you think, oh, it's just ibuprofen, it's not that bad. But she was having a lot of stomach bleeding. There was a lot of blood in her in in her urine and in her feces and stuff when she was going to the bathroom, because it was literally, the ibuprofen was literally eating the inside of her stomach, because she was taking so much. I mean, it's not just the bad drugs, or not just like shooting up with heroin and stuff like that. It can be even prescription medicine or even over the counter medicine, because ibuprofen is over the counter. Which, yeah, the 800 milligram is the prescription strength, but you can buy 800. I mean, you can buy the 200 milligram tablets over the counter and take 800 milligrams at a time. And if you do that 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day, then it can literally eat your stomach from the inside out. And the worst side effects for me, I guess, is, I've never thankfully had that issue. But I've had family and friends that have. And being coming from a small community, um there's actually, you probably wouldn't think it would be so rampant in a small community, but it really has been. Like when I used to work at the gas station where I live, I would always joke because I would say the crackheads come out at night. We were the only gas station open till 10:30 at night. And after 9 o'clock, when the other ones closed, I mean, it was like a whole different demographic of people that would come in, because it, and you could just tell, like the way Alex said with their teeth. Someone would come in, they would just have these big sores all over their arms and on their face and stuff like that. And that they're doing things like meth, or um there was a guy that used to would come in, and I always felt so sorry for him because he had a hard life before, like when he was a child and stuff. He had a very hard childhood, but um he would wear long sleeves year round, no matter. I mean, at Alabama heat, it gets like 100 degrees, but it feels like 120 degrees. And I'm not exaggerating, like the humidity and stuff in Alabama, like it gets so hot. But he was always wearing long sleeves just to cover up the fact that he was shooting up, had been shooting up with heroin. I had the misfortune of having to call the cops on him one time because he used our bathroom as a place to do that. And I think the last time I heard, he was found living in the woods in our community because he had nothing. He had no home. He had no friends that he could trust, or any friends that trusted him. His family had pretty much disowned him and told him that they wouldn't help him out anymore. And so, I mean, he would come in and would steal from the gas station. He would steal from the stores and stuff local, just so that he would be taken to jail, so that he would have a warm place to sleep during the winter and stuff. It completely destroyed his life. Just, he went from smoking pot to doing meth to shooting up heroin, and it was like things just progressively got worse until last I heard, like I said, I haven't heard anything about him passing, but he has nothing anymore.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, just hearing stories like that where, people go down this path of taking drugs, and it not only affects their body, but it affects their lifestyle and affects, where they like long term. It just takes them down a bad path for sure. So yeah, definitely, like as far as taking drugs, yeah, it can affect your body, definitely. Like, like both Alex and Caitlyn were saying, like your teeth can get all messed up from it, and you can get these sores on your body. Your liver, all of these different, like Alex was saying with these commercials that we see, like if you, bad side effects include like nausea, vomiting, all of these like different side effects. So there's so many that go with that. And I guess that's why, it's definitely, even the over the counter stuff can be really dangerous if you take way too much of that. Like even like Caitlyn
Mhm.
was saying with the hole in the stomach, that just sounds scary. And unfortunately,
Mhm.
I had a family member that kind of had the same situation, not from ibuprofen. To be honest, I'm not sure what it was from, but I know she had like a hole in her stomach from taking some kind of prescription, and it was yeah putting a hole in her stomach. And unfortunately, she's no longer with us, but she didn't pass away from that. But it just still just kind of reminded me of that situation, how scary that could be, just knowing that
Mhm.
you're being rotten from the inside out, basically. So
Mhm.
that's definitely scary. And then another thing that was mentioned, like Alex mentioned, is like the addictiveness of taking the drug itself to where it messes with your mind. And then that's where it kind of just you fall into the same bad chain reaction, bad pattern. So that definitely is a really bad side effect, because then it makes you start doing things that you normally wouldn't do. Like you'll start, probably you might start doing something that's like crime wise, like you might start doing something dangerous, then putting your life at risk, and or even putting your freedom at risk, because you could end up getting into jail. So there's a lot of these bad side effects can affect your lifestyle for sure.